Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So today we're going to work on a little Mother's Day present, and or really for anything, but I was trying to think of something for Mother's Day that I could share with you, and I came up with this. Now my mother is no longer with us, but I did make one in colors that I think she would have loved and that remind me of her because she lived by the beach, so this one I made. And when I wear it, I'll think of my mom. So this is the silver, and this is a beautiful aqua color. It reminds me of the ocean and the sand in Florida. That's where she lived. And here's one in gold with two different color Rivolis. So this is a 14 millimeter Rivoli, and it is, what I did is I made sort of a cushion cut bezel for it because I wanted to do something a little more, not totally square, but a little square-ish and not so round. And I wanted the window, this area here, to be a little more square. So I didn't have any square stones, so I just took a 14 millimeter and I played with it until I got something that looks sort of roundy square. Okay, a couple other suggestions. This is the Interlace bezel bracelet. If you're looking for something to make for your mom, also a good one. Also, I wanted to let you know that I'm going to put timestamps in the description box below the video to when the materials list starts and when the beading starts. So for those of you who don't want to listen to me, or who are just interested in just starting to bead immediately, then you can just go ahead and do that. All right, so don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll clear the decks and we'll get a materials list going. See you in a minute. Okay, let's get a materials list going. So you need 3 14 millimeter Rivolis, whatever you want to call them. I've got 2 in this bright pink, and I've got a Tanzanite, some 11.0 Delicas. These are hex cut. These are the 18 karat gold plated hex cut. Love these. They work really well with this bezel. Need some 15.0 seed beads. These are just the dark bronze. I like a contrast, like I showed you in the corners. So you just see a little bit of shadow, so I put a contrasting bead in the corner. I need 2 bicones. That's for the connection right here. You need some 11.0 seed beads. You can either do these in 2 contrasting colors. This is for the bracelet, or 1 color, doesn't matter. You'll need a clasp. I have a little magnetic clasp here. Stop bead, size 11 and 12 beading needles, and some 8-pound Fireline, black satin. All right, or whatever color goes best with your, with whatever bead you're using. All right, so get your materials together and get started. Okay, so thread your needle with about 30 inches of thread. Put on a stop bead and leave about a 10-inch tail. We're going to use that tail to sew in the front of the bezel. So I strung on my needle and I dropped down to my stop bead 7 11.0 Delicas and a 15.0. I'll pull it a little bit. 7 11.0 Delicas and a 15.0. I did that 4 times. So I have 4 groups of 7 Delicas and a 15.0. All right. Going to make that into a circle by sewing up through the first bead past your stop bead. So here, let me just bring it around. Just going to have to pull out a teeny bit. Okay, so I'm going to sew through that first Delica, like that. Now I have a circle. Now I'm going to start doing some peyote. So pick up a Delica, skip the next Delica, and sew through the following Delica. Make sure that bead pops up on top of the previous one. There we go. Pick up a Delica, skip the next one, sew through the next one. Sure that guy pops up like that. Pick up a Delica, skip the next Delica, sew through the following Delica. You don't want to pull too tight on this. You want to kind of leave it just mildly tight, just a nice mild tension. Okay, so we have 3 Delicas on, so now we're at the 15.0. Pick up 2 15.0s. skip the 15-0 and sew through the next Delica. Pick up a Delica, skip the next Delica, sew through the following Delica. Pick up a Delica, skip the next one, sew through the next one. Pick up a Delica, skip the next one, sew through the next one. Now we're at the 15-0, pick up two 15-0s. These are the corners. Skip the 15-0 right there and sew through the Delica. That's what it looks like. So you're just going to continue around until a couple of beads before the end, and then meet me back here and we'll step up together. Okay, coming down to the end. So here, I'm going to put on my next Delica, turn the corner, skip the 15-0, and we're going to step up here. So skip this 15-0, sew through the next Delica and the Delica on the diagonal. Okay. Now we're going to pick up the Delica, and I'm going to sew through each sticking out Delica. And then through this 15-0. Then you're going to pick up one 15-0 and sew through the next 15-0. Pick up a Delica, sew through the next Delica. Pick up a Delica, sew through the next Delica. Again. Sew through, pick up a Delica, sew through that first 15-0. Pick up a 15-0, sew through the 15-0. That's what our corners look like. So do that all the way around. Stop a couple of beads before, and we'll continue. Okay, so I'm turning the corner. On goes the Delica. On goes a 15-0. In between the two 15-0s. Pick up a Delica. I'm going to step up now. So you're going to skip this Delica, sew through the next one and the one on the diagonal. I'll pull on it a teeny bit more just to show you that step up. Okay, leave that for a second. Okay. Let's keep going. Delica. Sew through the next Delica. Pick up a Delica. Sew through the next one. Now we're going to pick up a 15-0. So when we get to the corners, we're going to put on 15-0 and sew through the 15-0. Pick up a 15-0. Sew through the next Delica. That's how your corner looks. Delica. Delica, Delica, 15-0, and then do that all the way around. Again, stop at a couple of beads before, and we'll step up again. Okay, coming down to the end. 15-0, so I'm getting the corner done. 15-0, and then pick up a Delica, and you're going to step up. Let me move my thread. So you're skipping this bead, this Delica, you're exiting here, skipping this one, sewing through this one. And now you've stepped up. This is what we have. Notice we have these two bead, 15-0s in each corner. All right, now we're going to work with 15-0s. So pick up a 15-0, sew through the next Delica. Pick up a 15-0, sew through this 15-0. Pick up a 15-0, just sew right through this 15-0, the next 15-0. That's where we're going to be bringing our corners in. Pick up a 15-0, the next Delica, a 15-0, the next Delica, 15-0, to the next Delica, and so on. 15-0s through every sticking out bead. Do you see how that's, when I put my thumb in, it's starting to curve a little bit. Alright, so they just keep putting 15-0s all the way around. Don't forget the 15-0 in between the two 15-0s in the corners, and then meet me back here and we'll continue. Coming around to where we're going to step up. So because my piece is becoming a little three-dimensional, I'm just going to hold it on the side here. So I've added my two 15-0s in the corner, and I'm just going to pick up a 15-0, sew through this one. I'm going to step up, 15-0, sew through the Delica and the 15-0. I'm going to give that a nice pull. Let's just, it's not going to, the stone isn't going to fit yet, but we'll just pop it in just to see. So this is how actually it's supposed to look. It's too big right now. So I'm just going to let you get to this point, and what you can do also is you can figure out which way your thread is exiting on the front and which way it's exiting on the back. Pull in the opposite direction like that, and that will tighten it up a bit. Alright, so just get to that point and then meet me back here and we'll continue. Back. So you can hold your stone in there. There's no way it's going to stay, but you can just hold it with your thumb. Just kind of, I think it helps. Alright, so I'm going to hold it from the side and show you where we're exiting. That 15-0. So I've changed my color so you know it's easier for you to see. Pick up a 15-0. So if you see, we're sort of in the center of one side there. Sew through the next 15-0. Just the next sticking out 15-0, just like that. Okay? Now what you're going to do is you're just going to take your needle and thread, and you're just going to sew through the next two beads. The next two sticking out beads. If you can't get them all at once, do them one at a time. That's going to pull the corner in. Like that. Okay. We'll do it again, so if you didn't catch it that time, pick up a 15-0, sew through the next 15-0, pick up a 15-0, sew through the next 15-0, pick up a 15-0, sew through the next 15-0, like that, and the next two sticking out 15-0s. See that? Just not putting beads on at that point. Just pulling the corner in like that. We'll do it again. Pick up a 15-0. Oops. There we go. You can pull in a bit. Pick up another 15-0. Another one. So through the next 15-0. Now you're going to continue on without any beads through the next two. So we're just, as I said, tightening up the corners a little bit. It'll pull. Let's do it again. One. So through the next 15-0. Like that. And then through the next two, just without any beads on. And pull. still going to be loose, but as you pull, it's going to start tightening up. So if you notice, we're ending up with 3 sticking out 15-0s on each side. So you're just going to continue that. Well, actually, we're so close, we might as well just finish it, right? Okay, so let's pick up a 15-0. So through the next one, pick up a 15-0. Now we're going to step up. So we're going to put 1 bead here, so we're going to skip this one. So through the 15-0, and then that next sticking out 15-0. And when I pull, it's starting to close in a bit. All right, so what the other side looks like, we'll get to that in a bit. So get that done, and then come on back, and we're going to do 1 more round on the back. All right, see you in a minute. Okay, we're back. So we're getting there. So we're exiting this pink bead right here, or this up bead right here. So what I want to do is I want to get from this up bead to this one on this side. So remember we put 3 beads on each side. So I'm just going to sew through these corner beads, and that's going to tighten them up also. So I'm exiting this bead. I'm going to sew through the next bead and the bead on the diagonal. Like that. I'm going to sew through the next bead, this up bead, and the bead on the diagonal. Like that. I'm going to sew through this bead and the pink bead. So I've just maneuvered my way through that corner to get to the pink bead, and the reason I did everything on the diagonal is because that way no thread will show. We can pick up a pink bead or just another 15-0. So through the next one, and I'm pulling inward, pick up a 15-0. So through the next one, like that. Now I'm going to do the same thing for this corner. I'll do this one more time with you. So I'm exiting this bead, the pink one, or this, I put a bead on here and I'm exiting this bead. I'm going to sew through the next one and the one on the diagonal. Then I'm going to sew through this one and the one on the diagonal. Then this one and the up bead, or that pink bead that I put on, or your up bead. And I'm going to pull in, and that pulls my bezel in a little more. And you're just going to, so you're going to put your pink, your next bead here, next here. You're going to sew through these guys to get to this group, and do the same thing there until you get to the end, or close to the end, and then meet me back here, and we'll continue. Okay, we're back. So I've sewn through all the corners, and I've got all the beads on. Now, if you want to, you can stop here and just sew your threads in. So you would sew through your beads until you come out some of these Delicas, and then you're going to sew on the diagonal through the Delicas, reverse direction, just to get your thread sewn in. I'm assuming that you have done, finished off peyote before. All right, so here I'm exiting that last up bead, this pink one. I'm going to go through the beads again. I just want to show you something. If you want to do this, it's kind of fun. So I'm going to sew through the 2 on the diagonal, just like we did before. Again, I'm going to sew through these tiny little 2 more. So I'm sewing through this one and then the one on the diagonal, back up through this one. So I'm working my way to get in between these 2 beads, like that. And I'm going to put a bead here. So exiting here, put a bead here, and that gives you kind of a little point. And if you do that all the way around, it kind of gives you like a little sort of flower design. So if you want to do that, you can do that. If not, you could stop, like I said before, and just sew in your threads. Okay, so then go ahead and get that done and meet me back here, and we'll start the front. Back. So I did do the little points in the back, and it's kind of cool. It comes out, I forget what those things are called, like a little flower of some kind. that would be pretty just as the front of a bezel. So I think we might, you know, all in one metallic, or all in one color. So we might revisit that as a bezel. But right now we're going to finish this one. All right, so I've switched to a size 12 beading needle. I've taken my stop bead off and I've threaded it with the tail. I'm exiting this Delica right here. Now if you aren't, you should be, but if you're not, just make sure you're exiting something on the front, on the front of the bezel, on this edge. So I'm just going to sew through, so I'm exiting this Delica. It's also awfully tiny there. I'll see if I can pull on a teeny bit more. I'm just going to sew through this 15-0. And this is where this smaller needle really helps. Pick up a 15-0, sew through the next Delica. Pick up a 15-0, sew through the next Delica. And I'm just pressing it down as I go. 15-0, through the next Delica. Pick up a 15-0. Now here you want to sew through the 15-0. So you see that little 15-0 right there? So just, you know, and when you can't get through something straight, just, you know, angle your needle so you can get through it. There's plenty of space there. It just needs to be the right angle. There. So that's on. Pick up a 15-0, sew through the next Delica. Just like that. See how, so now you're getting these, you know, the 3 beads in the corner. All right, so you're just going to do that all the way around, and then meet me back here and we'll continue. Okay, I'm coming down to my last little 15-0. I know this is really close, but so I'm exiting this Delica, and I just want to sew through this 15-0. So this is my step up right here. So I just want to get through this 15-0 first. Then on, and then just sew through that step up 15-0, just to finish it off. Now what you want to do at this point, if your bezel, you know, if it's slightly loose, and it's possible, it could be, like this one's a little bit looser than one I made before, I'm just going to start sewing through the beads to tighten it up. So here I'm coming through a Delica. I'm just sewing everything on the diagonal till I get to sort of the center here. All right? And what you can do here is you can just sew through the Delicas like this. And then, let's see, this one. And then reverse direction. And up. And you can do this all the way around to tighten up the bezel. That'll fill up some of the space and that'll tighten it up. It's not bad, it's pretty, mine's pretty snug, but you know, sometimes they are not, sometimes they get a little loose, so you want to tighten it up. So just do that, sew around a bit. Do that with both ends. Make sure you sew both ends in really well, and then, you know, reverse direction, and then clip your threads, no knots, clip your threads, and then meet me back here and we'll start to connect. All right, see you in a few. Okay, we're back. So I want to connect 2 of my, well, you're going to connect all 3 of them like that. So thread a needle with about a foot of thread. Put on a stop bead and leave enough of a tail to sew in. So the beads we're going to be working with here, and I'm going to come in pretty close to show you, are going to be the 3 bottom Delicas. So 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. So I'm just going to hold it this way. Okay, and I'm going to, just the 3 right on the bottom. Okay, I'm just going to put sew through that first one. Like that, going in this direction. Okay, and let me just pull that a little bit. Then I'm going to pick up 3 11-0s, and I'm going to sew through the other side of the bead I'm exiting. See that? going to place 3 11-ohs right there. Now I just want to work my way down to this last Delica right here. Let me make sure I'm pointing to the right one. This one right here. So in order to do that, I need to go on the diagonal because I don't want any thread to show. So I'm just going to sew around my beads. You're experts at this now. Whichever way works for you. And then through this bottom one. I'm going to pick up 3 11-ohs, just sew through the other side of the bead. I'm exiting, so it's that last Delica at the end, like that. And what I've done, see I put 2 units on. Now I'm going to sew through the side seed bead of this unit and the top one. Just like that. I'm going to pick up a 4mm bicone and sew through this bead right here. So the top seed bead of the other unit. And at this point you really should sew in your tail thread because it will keep loosening up. And that's how you get the first part of the connection done. So get that done and then come on back and we'll connect it to this guy. Let's connect the others let's connect to this one. So at this point you can actually go through the beads and sew through them again if you want. I'm not going to do that. You can reinforce and come around again. Just, use a size 12 needle if it gets tight. All right, so now I'm exiting this seed bead right here. So I'm going to find the bottom corresponding side, bead to sew on, to sew it to this side. So I'm going to pick up an 11-oh and here, so here are my 3, 1, 2, 3, the 3 sticking out Delicas on the bottom. So I just want to sew through this one. So it's just the 3 on the bottom. You'll see that. 1, 2, 3. So I picked up an 11-oh, I'm sewing through that first one. Once you get that one on, you're fine. Pick up another 11-oh, sew back through this bead that's on the other unit. And when I tighten it, it just brings it together. Now I'm just going to go back around, sew through this 11-oh right here. Back through the Delica on my unit. I'm just going to move my piece around a little bit, just like that. Now I'm going to work my way down to the 3rd Delica on the bottom. So we're coming out of the 1, here's 2, here's 3. So again, I have to go on the diagonal, whichever way works for you. So now, here I am. I'm exiting that bottom Delica. And if you don't see me do it, if it's hard to see on camera, you'll see it when you look at it. There are only 3 on the bottom there. So now I'm exiting that Delica. I'm going to pick up an 11-oh. I'm going to sew through this 11-oh. I'm going to pick up another 11-oh and sew back through the Delica, that last Delica on the bottom that I started with. And now my units are sewn together. Now, just go through. You can sew through your units if you like. You can go through these 2, whatever, it takes to make it feel nice and secure. I mean, you don't want it so stiff. You just, that it's not going to move, but it should, it should move. So, just sew around a little bit and then get rid of this thread by sewing through your, some of your beads, and then do the exact same thing with this one. Get that one on. All right, get your other one on, and then meet me back here and we'll work on this pretty bracelet. Okay, we're back. So I wanted to show you where we are. We have the 3 units, components connected, and now we just want to start the bracelet. So to start the bracelet, we're going to use the same 3 Delicas on the bottom as we did connecting, and we're going to put those same 2 units on. We're just not going to put the bicone in the middle. So I'll get you started, but I think you're pretty experienced this by now. You can probably figure it out. Okay, so here I've threaded my needle with about 4 feet of thread, let's say, and I've put on a stop bead, left a tail to sew in. I've just put my thread through that one of the first of the 3 Delicas, pick up 3 seed beads. I'm just going to put that on like so. Now I'm going to move my way down like I did before to that 3rd Delica on the bottom. Doing this a little quickly now because we've done this a couple times already. Alright, so there I am. 3 more 11-ohs. I'm going around the other side of the bead. I'm exiting. So this is exactly what we did before. You can sew that end in if you want. Alright, so I'm just going to let you get that done, and then we'll continue. So you have your units on. Now we're exiting the Delica. We're going to sew through the side seed bead and the top seed bead of that unit. See that? Now this is where you would have put the bicone on, but we're not going to put on a bicone. I'm just going to tighten my thread a little bit because I didn't sew that end in. It really is better to sew the end in. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads. I'm exiting here. I'm just going to sew around and put another unit on. So I'm sewing through the other side of the bead I was exiting from. And then I'm going to take 3 more 11-ohs. Now I've changed. I'm making the outside units one color and the inside a darker color. So I'm using a light metallic bronze and a dark metallic bronze. You don't have to do that. It's just a very subtle difference. So 3 11-ohs. I'm just going to sew through this guy, the top seed bead of the next unit. And I'm going to pick up 3 11-ohs, exiting here. I'm going to sew around the other side to put a unit on, like that. I'm going to sew through the side seed bead and the top seed bead. Pick up 3 11-ohs. So this is interlace now. We're just not putting the bicone on. Sew through the other side of the seed bead. You're exiting. Pick up 3 11-ohs. Sew through the top seed bead of the next unit. So we're just going back and forth and doing this until we get this nice sort of lacy look. 3 11-ohs, exiting here, sew through the other side, sew through the side seed bead and the top seed bead. 3 11-ohs, exiting here, sew through the other side to make a unit. 3 11-ohs, sew through the top seed bead of that next unit. That's what you're going to do all the way down. Do it one more time. 3 11-ohs, exiting here, sew around the other side to make a unit. Sew through the side seed bead and the top seed bead. Do that again. 3 11-ohs. Sew through the top seed bead, the next unit, and you're going to end. I'm going to show you how it looks on the end. So you're exiting here, Sew through around the other side of that seed bead to make another unit. Sew through the side seed bead, the top seed bead. So you're going to keep going, and this is what you're going to end. You know, your end is going to look like. You're going to have the little seed bead units on the ends. So you just want to get your bracelet length, so make them, you know, both the same size, and then come on back and we'll put on the clasp. All right, see you in a minute. Okay, we're back, so I've finished my other side, and now we're just going to put the clasp on. So you're ending with these two units there. Just going to pick up an 11-0, one end of my clasp, and an 11-0. Going to sew. We're exiting here, just sew through the top seed bead of the next unit. It's like that. I'm going to sew through this one, sew down the next bead, across this group of beads, right there, that line, back up through all the beads and through the clasp again, back down this one, back through the line of beads again, and I think that's enough, but you can continue. So now, just want to straighten some of these beads out. I mean, they look pretty good, but you can reinforce them. So we're exiting this line of beads, just sew down this one, and across this group, this line. You're going to do that all the way down this one, and then across the line of beads. Down this one, and across. Straightens everybody out, makes it a little bit stronger, just like that, and you're just going to continue that all the way down until you're done. So that's it. So let's just take a look at our other bracelet. Again, I'm waiting for the clasp on this. I just love this one. It's so pretty. I love them both. I think they're both really pretty. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you make this for your mom. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Mother's Day with your mom, or a wonderful memory of your mom on Mother's Day. That's what I'm going to have. All right, so I'll just say again, thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.